How's everybody doing tonight? Just gonna pick Final Fantasy back up. Played it yesterday a little bit while I was doing the vlogcast pod thingy, and decided today I was gonna talk at you a little bit while I did some Final Fantasy grinding, which, as you probably know, there's plenty of. Um, First things first, just want to remind everybody it's time to re-up your Extra Life profile. So even if you signed up for Extra Life last year, you still have to go and sign up again. You can use the same information, like your login and everything is still there, but you sort of have to go rejoin as a member, and then it gives you the opportunity to start putting in donations and whatnot. New year, everything is reset. The other thing that I look forward to every single year is GameSpot.com is where I get most of my news from, and they have award lists for absolutely everything. Literally every kind of category you could think of has an award list. I'm sorry guys, my throat's a little rough. All two of you out there listening. They have award categories for everything, but my favorite is called the Special Achievement Awards. And it just, I guess it sort of covers all of the, if you're not familiar with it, it kind of covers all of the wacky, hot topic type things. It tends to be a lot of polarizing things, and then it's a little bit of a humorous article in the sense that it will give them sort of phony, funny, made up awards. And it's the one I look forward to the most. So, for example, this year, the Special Achievement Awards, you have Best Overall Storytelling, Mafia 3. Okay, it's bad game, good storytelling, that makes sense. Not a bad game. I'm actually not too familiar with it. I'm more of a retro gamer if you haven't guessed, but heard enough reviews to know that it wasn't everybody's favorite. Best game that really deserves a second chance, Street Fighter V. If you remember right, when it launched, it didn't have just a lot of content with it. Had some other issues, but must be pretty well patched up now, is what it sounds like. Best open world in a game. So not best open world game, just best open world in a game. No Man's Sky. I can get on board with that. I know the game had plenty of issues. Again, I didn't try it. Seems like it's a pretty big open world. Biggest gaming social phenomenon, Pokemon Go. Probably the most polarizing game of the year. You either love it and it's your favorite game ever, or maybe you don't even consider it a game. I don't know. I don't much care. But it was a massive social gaming phenomenon. I have numerous people around me that are still playing it avidly, that look forward to all the updates. So, as I was looking through some of those other lists, it's pretty interesting that some people, it will pop up on their list. It'll be on their favorites list. Other people, it pops up on their least favorite lists. It really is very polarizing. But long story short, it was truly a gaming social phenomenon. So I would have to say that GameSpot pretty much hit that one right on the head. Good job, GameStop. GameSpot. I'm sorry, I do not want to confuse those two. Best game based on a movie based on a game. Ratchet and Clank. Excellent. The movie I was disappointed with. Best return to form. Gears of War 4. You can get on board with that. Best VR app. Google Earth VR. Heard many, many good things. Had a chance to try a few VR things. I've played around a little bit with the HTC Vive with a friend of mine who essentially creates architectural structures in VR, and his company sells those, uses that as like a selling tool to sell 3D VR models to other architecture firms. Like I said, they're essentially building a digital one and then selling that digital model or that digital design, from what little I understand. Long story short, I've gotten to go over to his house a couple times, gotten to play around with some of his stuff. Like I said, he uses Vive currently. I have not given Oculus a second chance recently. I did use it at his house. It did make me pretty nauseated, but I haven't given it a second chance. And you understand that their hand motion controllers are pretty excellent. So looking forward to trying that. Best free update: Elder Scrolls Online 1 Tamriel. Can agree with that. Best game that got even better thanks to a lot of patches: The Division. Started out as a great game, got a lot of patches, makes sense. Again, can't reiterate enough, I am not a modern gaming guy. I have the opportunity to play games on modern consoles fairly frequently, but I own a Wii U and a 3DS, and those are the quote-unquote modern things that I own. So not totally in the loop in terms of how these actually play, but read enough news. I'm in the gaming community, I hear the stuff. And, GameSpot does a great job of rounding all that up for me, actually. Best game for emotional impact: That Dragon Cancer. Might remember right. If you don't, the hosts on stage at the Gaming Awards, I don't want to call it a controversy, but you might want to look up Pat the NES Punk, for example, as a podcast on how the hosts maybe didn't quite know what the game was, and they were looking awfully happy when they gave this game an award, when maybe they should have toned it down a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to call it a controversy, but it was a little awkward, I think, to say the least. Best game for people who do the New York Times crossword every morning. That is a heck of a category. That is Pie-Crossed 3D, I believe. Pie-Crossed 3D, round 2. Looks like Pie-Crossed. Never heard of it. Sounds excellent. So, that's really all there is to it. I just wanted to recommend that article. I like reading about all the top games list. I really like reading sales numbers. Money is king when it comes to video games. So I really like reading sales numbers more than anything else. But one that stands out to me is that special awards list from GameSpot. So thanks, GameSpot. Like I said, go check out that Pat the NES Punk podcast on the Gaming Awards, where the That Dragon Cancer game was given an award, and it got a little maybe uncomfortable just for a second. And go re-up your Extra Life profile if you haven't done that already. Teams, if you have a team, go re-up your team. That's all I got for you. I'm going to pay more attention to Final Fantasy here. And since I'm emulating, I might actually speed it up to 1.5. The music doesn't sound very good at 1.5 speed, but the grinding goes a little smoother. So thank you guys very much. Have an excellent evening, and I will talk to you soon.